All right. Good morning, beloveds. If you just watched one or see that there's two in a row, the first one was a makeup for yesterday. I'm working the Renaissance Festival, and so that was me making up for missing yesterday for a couple of people who follow along in the book. Today is October 17th. It is Sunday, October 17th. And the title is, I Have No Enemies. I Have Only Sons of God Expressing Love Towards Me. And our quote is, See that none render evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. And that is 1 Thessalonians 5:15. Disagreeable people are a problem to all of us, and it is a problem that has to be met. It is easy to go through life feeling that we are the victims of other people's thoughts and actions. We all have an adequate vocabulary to describe just how vicious and mean the other fellow is. One of the essential teachings of Jesus was a spiritual way of handling our fellow man. He also had vicious and unkind people in his world, but he understood that people who were unkind needed his love and understanding more than any others. They needed healing. We are practicing his teaching, and we know that all that needs correction is our own thought. The other man's actions and words fail to register in our consciousness when our minds are sustained in a spiritual concept of what he really is. God is in the so-called enemy. God's life is his life, and God's mind is his mind. Everyone in my life is a blessing and benefiting me. They are spiritual beings expressing towards me the love and justice of Almighty God. I do not have an enemy. I have only God's people in my world. No one is vicious, mean, or unkind to me, for my consciousness cannot receive such wrong ideas. I believe that man is the individualization of God, and as such, the people in my world are good, loving, and kind. No one can hurt me but myself, and I refuse to do that. I keep my thoughts worthy of the infinite thinker that is expressing through me. I believe in the Christ, in my fellow man, and see him as he really is. All right. No. Go the other way. I got both orange tabbies now. Rita is here, and where is she? Gabby's over there. So, I have a couple of thoughts about that. Starting with, when we meet people that are unkind and vicious, then our response to them can go a long way into how our interaction proceeds with them. For example, and this was years ago when I was a cashier supervisor at Target, I had this one cashier. And honestly, I think she'd been there longer than me. And she was difficult. And she was difficult with everybody. And one day we got into it. We had an actual, disagreement. And it doesn't matter who was right or wrong. It really doesn't. But it was bad. And we went our separate ways that day. And the next morning, we were scheduled to work together again. And I met her in the bathroom. And she was expecting me to still be angry about yesterday. And I wasn't. Honestly, I had let yesterday go. And so when I saw her in the bathroom, I said, "Good morning, how are you doing today?" And she cried. Because she was expecting me to come at her, still angry about whatever it was that we had argued about the other day. Which, you can tell, I don't remember what we had fought about. But I do remember her response to me when I was kind in our next interaction. And I believe after that, our interactions were easier. I'm not saying we didn't have moments, but our interactions were easier. And so sometimes that's exactly what it is. When we meet unkind people, then when we respond to them with kindness, it gives them the opportunity to rethink what they are doing. Now, he talks about vicious and unkind people. As a woman, what I'm going to tell you is I do not keep toxic people in my life. I love people like that from a distance, because there are some people that it doesn't matter what you do, how you respond, they are going to be that way. And those people, it's not my job to fix them. It is never your job to fix somebody. And sometimes the best thing that you can do for both of you is to get yourself out of their lives. All right? Yeah, to get yourself out of their lives. Because there are people that you're just you guys are going to rub each other the wrong way. And you can see each other as the beloved children of God that you are, but you are toxic together. Your interactions are toxic. And that's just the way it is. And so for everybody's safety, you remove yourself from that situation. So what I am saying to you is that you don't have to fix them. You do not have to. In fact, you can't fix them. You do not have to continue to interact with them. But what you can do is from a distance, see them as the beloved children of God that they are. Okay? So in situations with normal people where you've just, rubbed each other the wrong way, you can respond with kindness. Do that. And in situations where you rub each other the wrong way and nothing works, remove yourself. Never put yourself in an unsafe situation with unsafe people just because they're the children of God. All right? Don't do that. You do that from a distance. And really, honestly, sometimes the best thing you can do is get out of their lives or get them out of yours. All right? And then because he does say it in here, the other man's actions and words fail to register in our consciousness because our mind says, no, that's not where it is. It's further up. But somewhere in there, he said, and I'll find it when I go back through it. It's, it's not our job to fix people. And sometimes the best thing we can do is leave them alone. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the best thing we can do is leave them alone. If we cut toxic people out of our lives, it has nothing to do with them. Then we're not over there agitating them, they're not over here agitating us, and everybody is safer. All right? And that's why I preface that with, because I am a woman. All right? There are things that men can do because of the way our society is set up, our culture is set up, our religions are set up. There are things that men can do that women can't yet. We'll get there. But for right now, if you are a woman or you're a man who does not feel safe, then don't try and fix people. Don't put yourself in unsafe situations. Remove yourself and love them as the children of God that they are from a distance. From a distance. You do not have to interact with vicious and unkind people because it's the godly thing to do, because it's not. Know who they are. And when you encounter them, treat them as the children of God. But don't be a doormat, because you are also a beloved child of God. All right. Every time I get on this, I get on that soapbox. Because I am not a fan of religious abuse, and women have taken a bulk of it because they say, well, you should do this because. No, no. We can treat you as a beloved child of God from over here, and we're going to. We're done with this. I have no enemies. I only have children of God expressing love towards me. That is who is in my life, all right? And if you are a child of God and cannot express love towards me, I do not have to interact with you. Same goes for you, all right? If you are a beloved child of God and you have people who are not expressing love towards you, you do not have to interact with them, even if they're family. Bear that in mind. See that none render evil unto any man. See that none render evil unto any man. All right? See that none render evil unto any person, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourself and to all humans. All right? We don't tolerate bad behavior. We see them as the children of God that they are, but we do not tolerate bad behavior. Disagreeable people are a problem to all of us. That's true. And it is a problem that has to be met. Also true. But it is not your job to fix people. It is your job to see them as a beloved child of God. It is not your job to fix them. It is easy to go through life feeling that we are the victims of other people's thought and action. We are only victims of their thoughts if we let ourselves be, and we are victims of their actions when we allow ourselves to be. I'm not talking about the initial interactions where people are behave badly. I'm talking about if you remain in the situation, okay? You are welcome to leave. And as a beloved child of God, it is your responsibility to leave. And we are getting better on creating ways to do that. We all have, but starting with the fact of recognizing that you're a beloved child of God, you deserve to leave. That's where we start. We all have an adequate vocabulary to describe just how vicious and mean the other fellow is. One of the essential teachings of Jesus was a spiritual way of handling our fellow human. He also had vicious and unkind people in his world, but he understood that people who were unkind needed his love. His love and his understanding more than others. They needed healing. And there's a meme that I see fairly frequently, and it says, do not wish them pain. When people visit pain on you, do not wish them pain. It's not who you are. Wish them healing. But you're not responsible for that healing. They are responsible for that healing. But you can hold the space for that healing to happen. And again, you can hold the space for that healing to happen from over here. You don't have to put yourself in physical proximity to unkind people to hold the space for them. We are practicing his teaching, and we know that all that needs correction is our own thought. That's why I gave you the example of the interaction with the cashier in the bathroom, because sometimes the way we interact with people is all that we need to tip that balance. Sometimes, all right? So watch for those opportunities. Watch for those opportunities where you can be kind in a situation where they are expecting you not to be. And see how it changes. The other person's actions and words fail to register in our consciousness when our mind is sustained by the spirit in a spiritual concept of what that person really is. Okay? God is in the so-called enemy. God's life is his life, and God's mind is his mind. You will never look in the eyes of someone God does not love. Think about that for a minute. All right, so mantra time, power statement time. Use these words in your treatment, and if any of them don't resonate with you, feel free to change them. Everyone in my life is a blessing and benefiting me. They are spiritual beings expressing towards me the love and justice of the Almighty. That's a mouthful. I do not have an enemy. I have only God's people in my world. Can you imagine if you stepped out that front door and you said that, I do not have an enemy. I have only God's people in my world. It would change the way you looked at people. It would change the way you spoke to people. And that's one of the reasons why I'm constantly talking about recognizing that everyone is a beloved child of God. Everyone. And I include 2 legs, 4 legs, 6 legs, all the legs and none of the legs. Everything is a beloved child of God and deserves our kindness. No one is vicious, mean, or unkind to me, for my consciousness cannot receive wrong ideas. Okay, I think that's the line I was looking for. No one is vicious, mean, or unkind to me, for my consciousness cannot receive such a wrong. Because I do my spiritual practices, because I look at the world as a beloved child of God, the people around me tend to, we can talk about vibrations, frequency. People who have a tendency to be unkind and mean tend not to stay in my life. They naturally fall away. Because we don't talk about the same things, we don't do the same things, we don't, and people who are kind and loving tend to stay in my life because I cultivate a relationship with them. I am not pushing unkind people out. I'm simply not giving them the energy that they want. And they go look for it somewhere else. So, we don't have to be mean about it. They will naturally prune themselves out of their lives. And as they do that, you simply wish them peace. And you simply wish them healing. And you simply wish them to recognize who they are. And that's the secret. All right. No one can hurt me but myself, and I refuse to do that. No one can hurt me but myself, because if there are toxic people in my life, then I am allowing that. When I recognize toxic people in my life, then I don't allow that. I will cut them out of my life, either intentionally or, like I said, that vibration way. We don't talk about the same things. If we have nothing to talk about, then what you gonna hang around for? If I have no reason to give you my attention, you're not gonna stick around. I keep my thoughts worthy of the infinite thinker that is expressing through me. I believe in the Christ in my fellow human, and I see them as they really are. So that right there, that's the mission for today. I believe in the Christ consciousness so the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to believe in the Christ consciousness in our fellow human. To see them for who they really are, the beloved children of God that they are. Now, I also want you to see yourself as a beloved child of God and to not tolerate vicious and unkind people. To recognize them for who they are, but allow them passage out of your life. And when you think about them, allow them safe passage through your mind. All right? Don't think negative thoughts about them. Don't think about the negative interactions that you have had with them. Think of them as a beloved child of God and allow them to move on. Don't hang on to them. All right, I also encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. I encourage this every day. And the reason I do this is because you deserve it. You deserve your own love, your own kindness, your own compassion. Absolutely. Absolutely. It also will create a permanent habit. It will become your default setting so that when you encounter those vicious and unkind people, because we all will, then you have a bank of love, of kindness, and compassion to share. And you can create a brief interaction with them and share that love, kind, compassion. And that may be what they need to tip them into the healing that will help them move past that. All right? Doesn't mean you have to stay in their life. Doesn't mean you have to fix them. But it means that you have enough to share. And that's how we make a world that's a better place, when we respond with love and kindness and compassion, no matter the situation. And then, if the situation warrants, we get the heck out. All right? I always want you to be safe. I always want you to be safe. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with good people. Okay. I also encourage you to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. I'm not using the dreaded exercise word because Sunday is a day of rest for me. And you got to have one day to rest the body. Rest the body. All right? Drink plenty of water. Get that face full of sun. It is a gorgeous day out there. It may still be in the 50s, although we're closing on 10 o'clock, so maybe not. Drink plenty of water. Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. And whatever else you do, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven, right here, right now, always. Always. It merely awaits you being willing to look around and see the good that's surrounding you all the time. The more you look for, the more you see. The more you see, the more there is. And that's how it works. That's how it works. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move into the process of my day. I got to eat breakfast because I got to get on the road soon to get to the center to help set up the amazing service that we are going to have for you. We are in harvest season. We're still working on Emma. So please feel free to check that out in person or online. And I will have it up on YouTube tonight. So check that out. Follow us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center on YouTube and Facebook. And we are Creative Life Spark on Instagram and TikTok. All right. And I am on the Running Rev Ryan on most of those platforms. I'm not on TikTok yet. So have a good day, a great day, an amazing day, a wonderful day, a marvelous day, a stunning day. I've been looking up synonyms for amazing. Do that. Do that. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. But know that you're loved. So join us in about an hour for an amazing service. And I will see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I am back on track for the next 5 days. All right, beloveds. Until next time.